What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year, Planted family. So excited you're here. Um, just ready to hit the gym. Got some exciting stuff I want to share with you. But comment where you're coming in from. Gosh, I want to hear from you. Let me know how I can pray for you, for real. I really do want to pray for you. Um, I want to send you guys messages. I got a newsletter coming soon, so I'll have that linked up here and we'll be able to tap in, sending you guys these live feeds every day and just giving you more access to just prayer, more access to community. So excited about that. But just like this, heart this, comment where you come from today. We're going to go part two. Yesterday we talked about turning the page, right? And today we're going to talk about, man, there's difficulties in turning the page, and there's difficulties in getting in full alignment with God. I touched on that a little bit yesterday, that we we want to be in full alignment with God, but we struggle to do that. So I just want to touch on that today. I want to take you back to a story, and a time in my life where I was really wrestling with God. I was really struggling to get in full alignment with Him. I was doing everything that I wanted to do. So I can remember I was with the Seattle Mariners. I had been drafted. Things were going really well, and then I'd gotten hurt. I had a big injury to my right elbow, could no longer pitch, and had to have surgery. And man, I just remember really wrestling with God. I think that is a perfect word for it. If you're struggling to get in alignment with God, you're probably wrestling between your flesh and God's will. You're probably wrestling between the season you're in. You're probably wrestling between where you want to be and where you're at now. I mean, because up until that time in my life, I felt like everything that I had done, everything that I was doing, it was never enough. Like it was always on to the next. It was always on to the next. And even when I was doing things I wanted to be doing, even when I was where I wanted to be, I still couldn't be. And my mind was always anxious instead of in alignment. And I was reading in Ecclesiastes this morning. It says, "Yet God has a plan, and there's a time. Like every time in your life is beautiful, and it has purpose. Yet God like has every time in your life is beautiful, and it has purpose." And I just think that that's a beautiful way to live. Like every season you're in has purpose. And it goes on, Solomon talks about there's a time to plant and a time to harvest, and to do all these things. There's time to be born and a time to die. And it just keeps listing all of these different things. And yet God has purpose, and all of our life is beautiful. And I think that's where we need to get. And like, how do we actually get there? So I remember like being hurt with the Seattle Mariners and got surgery, and just like, where do I go from here? How do I live for God? And I wasn't before. I was a Christian, but really struggled with giving all of my life to Him. I struggled with surrendering. So I struggled with surrendering my life to Him and allowing Him to take me where He wanted to take me. So therefore, I struggled with being in alignment with Him. I was always trying to be in alignment with the world and what I thought would be fulfilling my heart. But like I said, every time I'd get something I wanted in baseball, it was never enough. It would be on to the next. I was never at peace. I was never at peace with the season I was in. And I think there's a lot of us out here that aren't at peace with where we're at. And I know we have big goals, we have ambition, we want to turn the page, we want to make different choices, right? Habits, disciplines, those are all great things. And you want to turn that page over to 2024 and do those things. But I want to tell you that if they're not in full alignment with God, you're still going to be anxious even when you do those things. You're still going to be anxious even when you do them. And I was there. I was 100% there. Even though I was getting what I thought I wanted, I was still anxious for the next. And I couldn't surrender to the season that I was in. So as I'm getting hurt, injured, Tommy John, loose fragmented bones, PRP, stem cell, 3 years of this pain, I didn't really climb out of that hole. I didn't really climb out of that pain. But God like met me there, and I had the opportunity to surrender to him and truly say, like, God, you take my life. Like, you take all the seasons, because all the seasons are beautiful and have purpose. That's what Ecclesiastes says. All the seasons are beautiful and they have purpose. So the season you're in right now, it is beautiful and it has purpose. It may be a difficult one. You may have lost a loved one. You may be not where you want to be health-wise. You may be in a rocky point of your relationship. But all seasons are beautiful and they have purpose. And I had to surrender to that and just calm my mind in that and rest in God's presence and really say, God, you take my life. Whatever you want to do with my life, take it. So the reason I wanted to do part 2 of this is turning the page and the difficulties of being in full alignment. Is so hard because we're anxious instead of aligned. We're constantly seeking new fulfillment elsewhere. We're constantly seeking that new thing is going to fill me. That new habit, turning the page and doing this will fulfill me temporarily, yes, but you're going to need more to operate from a full heart. So one thing I try to do, here's a step that you can take. One thing that I try to do to get in full alignment is God, you fulfill me. God, you fulfill me. God, you fulfill me. For every season is beautiful and it has purpose. God, you fulfill me in this season, in this current season of my life, in my current state of health, in my current financial situation. You fulfill me, God, because if I'm constantly running towards the next thing, the next goal, which is important, but it's not with God and you're not in full alignment with God, oh my gosh, if you're not in full alignment with God, you're going to need the next thing. And there I was playing baseball, and now baseball gets taken away from me. And now I don't have the thing that was bringing me full fulfillment. Now I don't have the thing that the world tells me I should have in order to fill my heart. Now it's taken away from me. It's removed from my life. Now what do I have? Anxiety, anxious thoughts. I have a lot of difficult thoughts. My heart isn't content. I'm not where I want to be anymore, right? So that was an extremely hard season. I say the one thing I just did to get in full alignment with God and the difficulties of it is surrender. And surrender to the place you're in. Wambozo Steve, amen. That's right, brother. Amen. Just surrender where you're at right now. Surrender. Surrender. And get in full alignment with Him in all things that He's trying to do in your life. All things that He's trying to do in your life. Surrender to Him. And I think that will help a lot as you go into 2024 and you want to turn the page and do new things. Just know that every season is beautiful and it has purpose. So every season that you're in right now, whatever it is for you, it's beautiful and it has purpose. That brings me so much peace. That brings me so much peace. Every season that you're in is beautiful and it has purpose. What you're going through right now has purpose. What you're doing right now has purpose. The difficulties you're overcoming has purpose. The harvest season you're experiencing has purpose. The planting season you're experiencing has purpose. All of it has purpose. And there's difficulty in being aligned, but I think number one that we got to do is just surrender to Him and leave our worldly mind behind. Surrender to God, leave your worldly mind behind, and try to get in full alignment with Him and what He's calling you to do. And sometimes it's just peace, sometimes it's just rest. And then there's sometimes that it's time to go. And it could be all in the same day, it could be all in the same season. There's a go time, there's a rest time, and knowing that, like, hey, if I compartmentalize my day, this morning I need to rest in God's presence. In this workout, I need to go time. In work right now, I really need to step on the gas. Like all of these things, like there's different seasons of your life, but there's also different seasons of the day. And learning how to compartmentalize those parts of your day. Like I woke up this morning, didn't get a ton of sleep. I was finishing, some reworkings of my office, and I just realized, oh my gosh, I am rushing so much right now. And all I need to be right now is here. All I need to be right now is here with God and resting in God's presence. That's where I need to be. That's where I need to be, and that's where you need to be. And then boom, now it's time to go on live. Okay, cool. Let's get into that mindset. Let's get into that mode and get in the line. God, what do these people need to hear? And then boom, we need to work out. I got to go hard. Like I got to go hard. There's a season right there of my day, this 1 hour, this 30 minutes I'm gonna have in the gym, right? We got to go hard, and then we're gonna go be with the family. Now I got to be with the family. I got to be present with the family. So it's difficult to be aligned with God. It's difficult to be present with where you are in your life, but where you are in your day has difficulties too. And I think the more that we reach up and we reach out to God with our mindset and our thoughts, and we say, God, help keep me present. Help me do the things you want me to do right now. Right now, you show me. Help me. And if you got to do that 100 times a day, do it 100 times a day. Right now, help me to be where you need me to be. And then you go to work, and then it's go time. You work as hard as you can. Do your work heartily as for the Lord rather than for men. Colossians 3:23. And you keep working. You keep working. Then boom, you go home and you have that pre-home routine. What is it that you need to do to get yourself ready to walk through the door again, to get yourself ready to be the family man or woman, to get yourself ready to be the best husband or the best wife? What is it that you need to do to get into that peak state? Right? God, help me to be a family man right now. Help me to be in a peak state as I serve my family. Like, so there's different seasons of life. You may be going through difficult season. You may be having a harvest season. You may be in a planting season. You may be in a picking out the land season, right? 2024, we can't all harvest, right? There's some people that they need to literally buy the land. They need to like say, no, enough is enough. Like, I am purchasing this land. I'm purchasing this land with God. I'm going to be in full alignment with Him. Some people are going to be cultivating that soil. They're going to be prepping that soil for planting season. Some people are going to be plowing. Some people are going to be planting. Some people will literally be watering and waiting. And then some people are going to be harvesting. Whatever season you're in, just know it's beautiful and it has purpose. The season that you're in is beautiful and it has purpose, but you got to be aligned with Him. Stop thinking about what the world wants you to have and think, and start marinating on what He wants to have for you right now, because it's beautiful and it has purpose. That's my word for you guys today. Go out, be a champion, be blessed. Planted365. I'll be on here tomorrow. I'm excited to tap in. Let me know where you're coming from. Share this for somebody else. Have yourself a blessed and lovely day, my friends. Take care. Peace.